Everybody, we have some great news about the fourth stimulus check. Everybody, who is to blame for holding back our stimulus money? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I personally just want to see the Democrats and the Republicans send out the fourth stimulus check as soon as possible. I want to see the great American people all across the country receive financial assistance. And if you guys agree with my message, then let's get this video to 5,000 likes. And don't forget that tomorrow, I'll be announcing one special winner of a free $100 Amazon gift card. And if you would like to enter the win, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends and family, and give this video a like.
Because as everybody knows, Social Security is funded by the payroll tax, an independent source of revenue for Social Security. Now, the fact is that for many, many years, in a variety of ways, my Republican colleagues have been attempting to either cut Social Security or, in the extreme case, privatize Social Security. People coming up here and saying, well, we want to preserve Social Security. What they really mean is, in order to preserve Social Security, they want to cut Social Security benefits. Maybe not for the people today on Social Security, but for future beneficiaries. And they say, well, that's the only way we can protect Social Security. Well, that is not accurate. Mr. President, I introduced legislation which, in fact, makes Social Security not only solvent until the year 2065, 50 years from today, but also expands benefits.
Overnight, lawmakers have now passed this budget resolution along party lines. This opens up the door for Democrats to advance the next part of President Biden's agenda, a $3.5 trillion package that Democrats plan to pass on their own. This includes a massive amount in spending on several Democratic priorities, everything from universal pre-K to free community college, funding to combat climate change. It would be paid for by increasing taxes on the wealthy and corporations. Republicans who just hours earlier worked with Democrats on a bipartisan infrastructure package in the Senate are blasting this as a spending spree. But the reality here is that Democrats hold a razor-thin majority in the Senate. They have now laid the groundwork to be able to pass this on their own. Their challenge will be keeping their own party united. Moderate Democrats have already indicated that $3.5 trillion price tag is too much, George.
Towards restoring the middle class in the 21st century and giving more Americans the chance to get there. Teddy Roosevelt said nothing in the world is worth doing unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty. What we're doing here is not easy. Democrats have labored for months to reach this point, and there are many labors to come. But I can say with absolute certainty that it'll be worth doing. The Democratic budget will bring a generational transformation to how our economy works for average Americans. It'll cut taxes for American families. It'll lower costs for everyone. It'll create good-paying jobs while tackling climate change, and it will be paid for by making our tax code more progressive and more fair, asking corporations and the wealthy to pay their fair share.
Rails on vote by mail or prevent local election officials from doing basic maintenance of voter rolls. The compromise bill we voted on in June included all of these important provisions, and I urge my colleagues, Democrats and Republicans, to allow us to debate this critical issue and come up with a bipartisan solution that protects every American's right to vote.
I thank my friend for his dedication to finding a way forward on this critical issue. And now, Mr. President, pursuant to Rule S-Res 27, the Rules Committee being tied on the question of reporting,
it would even spend public funds on our political campaigns. $4+ trillion in new spending actually wasn't enough tonight. It wasn't enough. The preference of at least 49 out of 50 of them is to spend public money on our own elections. Have public money finance the attack ads of people you disagree with. So look, my view is that maybe this is just...
which recognizes that care infrastructure is critical infrastructure. We know that our economy has not been working for working families. Then we saw a pandemic make a precarious situation even worse for families across the entire country. Our economy cannot fully recover and will not survive another pandemic or health emergency if people can't keep their jobs or get back to work. That won't happen until we start providing the economic support that we've actually needed for decades. Or what make the difference between a family surviving or a family thriving? And that's what this country needs to actually recover from this global pandemic. These investments are just as important as our investments in roads and bridges and sewers and clean water and clean air and high-speed rail and rural broadband. All of that matters. And together, that's how we recover from this economy. This is the moment to make this once-in-a-generation investment in the future of our families, the future of our middle class, the future of our economy. And this is something that we can do together. So I ask all my colleagues to join us in getting the Build Back Better plan over the finish line. It's about our families, it's about our economy, and most importantly, it is about our future.
Democrats want to unite behind Chairman Sanders' resolution to spend a staggering $4.2 trillion more dollars. Of course, outside experts estimate the real cost will be even higher still. If it's even close to fully offset, as they claim it is, this seems almost certain to be the largest peacetime tax hike on record. So let that sink in. The largest peacetime tax hike on record. Even though their rough sketch of these tax hikes would shatter President Biden's promise not to raise taxes on the middle class, families earning well under the president's stated threshold would get hit and hit hard. This new reckless taxing and spending spree will fall like a hammer blow on workers and middle-class families. Fewer jobs, lower wages, more inflation pushing costs higher and higher. What our colleagues are proposing and planning is absolutely jaw-dropping. People want to pretend this is just business as usual, just liberals doing liberal things using Senate procedure. Make no mistake, this reckless taxing and spending spree is nothing like we've seen, nothing. The basic math of their taxing and spending is toxic enough, but the radicalism that we'll be debating on the floor goes well beyond dollars and cents. The policies they want to put behind this budget resolution read like somebody walked across the rotunda to the House and handed the squad a pen and piece of paper. Sweeping